Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and hello everybody. This is for everybody, all zodiac signs, everyone who watches. Today we're looking at crystals, guys. So a lot of you guys know me. I talk about money, career, and business on the tarot readings on YouTube. And now today I'm going to share with you the other aspect of what we do. So I hope you will enjoy it. I have basically 3 goals in mind to achieve today. Share with you my personal collection of Natural Citrine. The other thing would be talk a little bit about manifestation and then maybe show you crystal grid, one format or another that I have personally used, me and Sue, around manifestation of abundance, money, and so on and so forth, success, happiness. So let's maybe grab a cup of coffee or a tea. I am joined here today by a beautiful, beautiful Earl Grey. And yes, it's in frame. So you can see my tea. You can see the citrine. I'm going to get out of the frame. And or maybe not. If you guys can see them, I'll maybe bring things close. But I want to start by saying natural citrine is a beauty. Okay, so the energy of citrine is something myself, my wife, a lot of our beautiful clients. And if you don't know what we do, we are a retail store in Hamilton, Ontario, or in Stony Creek, Ontario. We're called the Lucky Gem. I will do a store tour or a shop tour for you guys in a following video. But basically that's what we do. Rocks and minerals and gemstones, metaphysical supplies, and of course, we got into this pretty much because of the love of citrine. So I'll tell you the story. It used to be that Sue was well ahead of me in loving crystals. Okay, so at around 2017 I began collecting. I started out with a beautiful amethyst, and then I fell in love. I read about citrine. I fell in love immediately. I knew this is a beautiful crystal from the metaphysical properties that a lot of people shared. I knew I needed this. I loved it. And of course, I fell into the trap of buying. Oops, hold on here, lights. Okay, sorry, I just knocked my lights. I fell into the trap of buying these, the cooked stuff, okay, the fake citrine, which I should say really it's cooked amethyst. So amethyst geodes cooked in some kind of a autoclave or an oven or something, 900 Fahrenheit, who knows how many hours to get it to bring you guys this color. And the purpose is, of course, amethyst is more abundant than citrine. And the people who started this are our favorite people, the Brazilians. So good job, guys, for figuring something out, but really not good for the actual trade and not good for people seeking a true healing energy of citrine. So let's begin by saying we were duped into buying a couple of pieces until, of course, 2 things happen. One, you start to read more, you learn more, so you know, oh, there's some debate here. And then the other thing is you realize it's not the energy you were seeking. I mean, you got to trust your beginner's sensitivity. If you're getting into crystal new, you're probably the purest, you're probably the least tainted, you're probably the least conditioned. So you really have that honeymoon period of connecting with rocks and minerals and crystals. Your first, few months are going to be probably, in my humble view, amazing. Because you are raw, you are exposed to different energies. And of course, if you are open to that, if you are open to experiencing the energies, you will find ways to connect with your crystals. So back to the citrine thing. We met this guy at a gem show. I think it was in 2017. And I realized that he can source citrine from Africa. And from then on, the rest is history. The love story began. So my very first picks actually were not from Africa. Believe it or not, they were from Brazil. And now let me start sharing with you this collection of Brazilian citrine. So these, over a period of maybe 6 weeks, I collected these, and my wife Sue has probably as many from the same batch, from the same seller, who is a sweet soul, okay, a sweet soul from 6 Nations in Canada here. And pieces like that, very rare. So perfect termination, etchings, and some Lemurian features if you want. okay, and rutiles. So this is a wholesome piece of citrine. Some people may want to call it a smoky citrine. I'm going to disagree a little bit, because smoky citrine will have a little bit more of that darker hue to it. So beauty of a citrine point. I think that was one of the earlier ones I picked from him. And then oddly enough, we kept going week after week. They weren't selling. Okay, they weren't selling, so I ended up picking his whole collection. This was a piece. I had another piece like that, same size, maybe slightly bigger, with rutiles that I sold to a lovely, lovely lady who came into the store. So sometimes you do that, okay? Your collection expands, and now you're willing to maybe part with one, because not really for the money only. Sometimes, you know what? You know a certain stone has done its job, and you know someone else needs it, and you're gonna get more. And that's what you get with the working with citrine, guys. So think of it this way. Abundance, huh? It's a mindset. Abundance is a true mindset. When you believe, when you set your mind that there is plenty for all, and I know it's easier said than done when we're dealing with recessions here, but that's the absolute truth in my humble view around manifestation. You have to believe. You have to let go of the limiting beliefs. You have to let go of the how will that happen. You do your part and let the universe and let God, you know what, take care of the rest. Okay, back to citrine. So I went back, then I started picking pieces like these with some growth, and the rutiles here are phenomenal. I think you guys can see. Yes, you can see, because I could see it in the frame. So lots of shooting rutiles here. And I could say a whole bunch of other growth features, guys, or habits. So sometimes we're looking at skeletal growth, alrighty? Sometimes you may even have a fenster in one of these. Here's another beautiful, beautiful rutilated citrine point from Brazil. I should go like that. And actually, let me bring a flashlight too. Tools of the trades, just so we can ensure you guys could see. Am I ruining it? I think I am. Here. That's that. Lots of beautiful rutiles. And with citrine, guys, to me, I am keen on knowing where the termination is. So I do want to see a termination, but believe me, that's not what makes me collect and love and own a piece. So this is Brazil, another piece. And I think we looked at this with a little bit of growth on the sides. It's a cluster. You can't say it's just a single point. It's a beautiful cluster with rutiles. One more point here with the rutiles at the top. You could see beautiful, beautiful formation and a lot of phantom potential there too, I think. Now, rutiles shooting left and right, and if you see it in person, it's like gold, literally. Okay. Last of this Brazilian batch of natural citrine. Termination is up here. Beauty on the 6 sides. And one very long rutile here. Can you see here? I really hope this is going to turn out clear for you guys. I'm doing my best here, I promise you. And I even brought the strong lights. Maybe I'll get out of the frame. Why don't we take me out of the frame? That's probably better. Okay. So yes, the rutile is so neat here. One long shooting golden rutile here. Alright, so that started us with Brazil. And then, like I say, we ran into this guy who is legitimate, who buys from Africa. And then I fell in love with African citrine. African citrine, our first acquisition was really those pieces. It began with Zambia. Okay, so Zambia citrine is very different from Zimbabwe citrine. Now, let me bring Brazil a little bit down here. Come here, Brazil. That's kind of what I did. And let me put some Zimbabwe citrine here. So, in the middle here we have Brazil. Here we have Zimbabwe citrine. Here we have Zambia. And here we have Zambia also. So, you guys could see a little bit of a difference, huh? The Zimbabwe citrine seems to be a little lighter in its color. It's very unique. They grow in point forms, and sometimes, of course, there is twinning, there is side growth and whatnot. But for the most part, growing in long, very well pronounced points. And I'll show you some examples also at the store when I turn the camera. So Zimbabwe, and I fell in love with Zambia and Zimbabwe, and here we are. So Zambia's points, these are so rare to find now. I'm not too sure if I can get these again. These beautiful little things. Let me show you how they measure. So it's about an inch, okay? About an inch long. Beauty of a color in there. Some striations, so some Lemurian formation or Lemurian signs as well. And I know that there is a debate on what makes a Lemurian and what not, but let's just say we do have these features here. Look at this piece, this beauty, with a window here. Beautiful time link and perfect facets, guys. That's what I loved about them. But it was more so the color. Look at this one here, guys, with the beauty of a little rainbow here. And again, amazing terminations, and at the same time the color is just like honey, okay? So natural honey, if I may say. So Zambia here, and then these were so beautiful. Perfect termination again. And guys, excellent Lemurian features here. Look at the tapering. Look at the alternating sides in terms of the tapering, and of course, I need not say striations here. Striations you can feel with your nail, and a perfect 6-side termination up there. So these became my favorites, and then these became the pieces that we did the grids with, and I'll share with you guys the grid format that I did with those 4 pieces of Zambia. Now, you guys know me. If you watch my tarot, you'll know that whenever I get the 4 of Wands, I'm saying it's a money-making machine, and I'm saying that based on grids and work that we did with the Zambia Citrine especially. So what else do we have here? Another beautiful longish kind of point, and I love how it gets dark towards the tip here. In those, there is a double terminated piece. Here we are. So you may be able to see the facet on the one side here, and definitely you should be able to see the 6 sides here. Beautiful, but this piece is actually a double termination. Is there another double termination? Nope, I don't think so. So Zambia pieces came to us in different sizes and different shapes, and again, I can't get these anymore. I can get Zambia pieces like these, and those are available. So if you ever want, all you have to do is find a way to connect with me. So our website is theluckygemshop.com. Go there, send a message, okay? Contact us. I reply, guys. I reply. Just as you know me on YouTube, I reply to almost all comments that come in. So Zambia and Zambia. Now let's look at more beauty from Zambia. This piece somehow ended up in the batch, and I love it. I love it. I think this was something that I just didn't know that we had it, and when it showed up, I'm like, yes, I'm stashing this one. So that piece is there. Doesn't have the most clarity. It has a little bit of an overcoat. There can be some, you know what, iron at the top of the sides here, but a beauty. Perfect termination. Now, my very first favorite of the Zambia Citrine was this one. It's hard to resist this one, and this came into my pocket, so came with me to work and went with me places so many times. This piece, to me, it looks like candy. It feels like it can be edible, but it's not, and you guys know that. So that was one lovely point. And then we have other pieces from Zambia, and I love how you could see some phantoms inside. There's definitely some interesting growth features on this one, and look at this window. Look at this beautiful window here. You could see this right here, just below the 6 sides. I have perfect termination on these as well. So that was the Zambia piece. I think I have here also a double termination. Yes, she is right here. And by God, look at this sparkling happening inside here. Oh yeah. So here's one side, okay, with the faces. Again, some Lemurian features. And on this side here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's a chip, but really double termination. Most important thing is we know there are facets here and here. So we know that the energy in this crystal or stone, as it was growing, as it was forming, was really headed in 2 directions. Okay? More on the beauty of Zambia and double termination. Look at this one, guys. Look at this one. I love the growth habits. I love how you have this one sort of like shovel side of it, and then on this side here we almost appear 6-sided symmetrical, but really not. So another beauty of a double terminated citrine from Zambia. Couple of longer points. This is one of the longest ones that I currently have in my personal collection. So how long is this one? Yep, you're about 3 inches here. I'm not sure why I can't see, but hopefully you guys can see. You're about 3 inches here, and just lovely. And again, Lemurian features, beautiful solid point, feels good in your hand. And this is my Zambia collection. Okay. We love Zambia, but there's also Zimbabwe, guys. Can't ignore Zimbabwe. What a beautiful country, filled with rich minerals and in beautiful formats. So Zimbabwe amethyst is another video in and of itself on its own. But now let's talk about singing citrine. Can you hear? These are considered singing quartz points. They each have their own tone, and beautiful long points with lovely terminations. And look how thin, huh? It's so interesting. Look at this one here. Perfect termination at the top. Beautifully long, and sometimes I do see striations. I just love how consistent the form of it, the shape of it is. Not that it has to be, but it's amazing when they do that. The color on these is a lot lighter. Okay, so if you want to compare Zambia, Zimbabwe, here we go. It's a lot lighter, and I can assure you something, guys. This is not clear quartz. It is citrine. Another piece here, a beauty with beautiful terminations. Wow, it's raining outside. Beautiful terminations. And we had a bridge here. So you see this other point that was growing sideways. And I love it. If you guys know a little bit about gemology, or if you know a little bit about how these citrines or these quartz crystals are growing, really, it's such a fascinating story to realize that they were 2 seedlings. It's such a fascinating story to realize that in the belly of Mother Earth, when they were cooking, this would have been actually another point going in that direction. And why did it behave that way? Well, because it was a seedling at this part here, and its growth direction was headed that way, as much as this one was headed the opposite way, in a crisscrossing way, if you will. So we had those 2 points planning to grow like that. Now what happened here? Maybe this piece chipped, maybe it grew and it chipped in shipping or whatever, but if the conditions were available, were around, and the time was there and the material was there, that was going to be like a intersection like that, like a bridge. And this happens often with quartz, guys, and in following videos I'll probably show you more samples. But it's lovely to have an idea on what was happening in the belly of the earth when these were cooking. Okay, so Zimbabwe citrine is phenomenal. For some reason, the Zimbabwe citrine tends to grow in very well pronounced straightforward points. So actually, while I'm sitting here, let me go grab a couple of pieces from the display just across from me here. I'll only be 15 seconds, guys, and I can keep talking while you guys are there. I just want to show you some other Zimbabwe citrine samples, 1 and 2, just for fun. 1 and 2 just for fun. So here's one piece, and you guys could see it's a beauty, and we have some striations, we have some stepping. Whether or not you want to consider these Lemurians, that's up to you, but I'm just telling you what features we have here. And here is another point. Beauty. A lot of them have windows, a lot of them have time links, and a lot of them have twinning too. So I've got quite a bit with double termination and twinning on the Zimbabwe citrine. I didn't see twinning, to be honest, on Zambia, but let's see if we could see that with the Congo citrine. Give me a second, guys. I'll bring these back and come right back here. Have a sip of tea or something. If you haven't made a tea, you still got some time. All right, all right. Okay, as I move back, we are now about to speak about the Congo citrine, and I'm saving a surprise for the end here. Okay, so we have 5 localities here, guys. We have 2 Zambias here. Okay, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Brazil, I shared with you. Now let's look at the Congo. In the Congo, something I'm going to say to you, the energy is just different. Okay, the energy is so different. So with the Congo citrine, also known as, believe it or not, as Kundalini quartz citrine, okay? The person who coined the term Kundalini is Judy Hall, rest in peace. But beautiful, beautiful pieces with a lot of side growth. So you are looking at so many other side points growing on the side. So the idea is one main point, one main point, okay, and then other side growth points on the side. And then sometimes you may end up with a twin, all right, with twins, Basil. So they cluster in such an amazing way. To me, the energy of the Congo citrine is just phenomenal growth. It's like there's an abundance of energy in that locality. And again, if we go back to understanding how these form and why do they grow to the side like that, you'll appreciate that these were all seedlings. Each one of these that have a termination were planning to be a seedling. That was going to be a tree that branches out so far. And they all grew together. They all did their part. They even all have their, or most of them have their perfect facets and terminations at the top here. So that's an example of twinning on a Congo citrine. And at the same time, we're showing you the Kundalini features of it, which is basically one, okay, main point. Here's a cutesy little one, okay, one main point with side growth of points. But one main point had all the opportunity to get the attention, the food, and all of that. And then there's additional growth there. So this just tells me, if I were to even analyze this, spiritually speaking, I would say, wow, that is an energy of, you can't catch me. I'm intended to grow. I'm intending to prosper. I'm intending to succeed. And I will stand out. Hey, take that with a grain of salt. But here we are. Congo citrine, amazing, amazing. And you'll find that you will see phantoms in the Congo citrine often. A lot of phantoms. And here, for example, we are looking at a piece that literally, I think you can see this way. Yep. The phantom is there, and it appears like a crystal within a crystal. So here we are, Congo citrine. I think I'm approaching 20 minutes. Okay, let me just answer my kiddo here and say, okay, that okay sounds good. Okay, super. Now, let me share with you my most interesting, okay, and very, very valuable piece of citrine that came to me as a present from my lovely, beautiful wife. So I think this was 2 years ago, and she bought it. We were at a gem show, and it was interesting because our youngest daughter and Sue were on the one side of the show. I was walking the other side, and then I saw some guy selling citrine, and I was like, I don't need it. We have enough. We know how to get it. We've got plenty. But Sue did not act that way. Sue actually said, you know what, I will investigate. So she went and spoke with them, and she picked up this beautiful, beautiful cluster. Now, look at this, guys. This is museum grade. I'm going to say this is museum grade just because of who owned it and who picked it. Now, can you guess where this comes from? This beautiful citrine cluster, okay, it comes from Russia. Russia, eh? So Africa, Brazil and all, and then Russia. And this cluster has beautiful features. So 3 main points, eh? Each one of the main points has a twin. Okay, this one has a twin right here. This point has a twin right here. This point, where's your twin? It's right on the inside here. So, amazing color. It stands on its own. Okay, there's no need to do anything. It stands beautiful on its own. And then Marwan is not going to scratch it or break it, of course. But let me show you the provenance. Let me show you who had it. And that's kind of the old way of collecting, guys, where people really wrote what things were. Check it out. Citrine, huh? It's from Russia, and Nikolai Shore is the place. Pripolarny, Ural, Russia. Okay, so that's the locality. It's there. But the person who owned this was actually the curator for the Smithsonian Museum. Okay, so the curator for the Smithsonian Museum, and that was his piece of provenance or the description of what this was. The number 21-10-7, this has nothing to do with the year 2021, just so you know. Quartz variety citrine and the locality there. Okay, so super precious, guys. And yeah, super precious. And again, I'm very lucky to have such a selection. And of course, our selection since we opened the shop about 2 years ago or a little more has grown phenomenally. So what can I say to you about manifesting abundance now with the energy of citrine and with some citrine points? I'll share with you guys my most simple way of doing a grid with citrine. And as I speak, let's just say that a grid is, a crystal grid is a geometric formation or shape, but I still haven't shown you this, okay? So just last but not least, from the Congo, look at this piece of beauty. I realize as I do that maybe the angle is not the best showing it top down this way. So I'm gonna do my best to do better. If I need to redo this video, I will, guys. Hopefully you guys can see though, but perfect 6 sides here. There's a lot of rainbow action right here, and I love the color. I like the darker side of the color, guys, when it gets to this, I don't know, deep honey molasses type color. I love it. That's why I love Zambia so much too. Anyway, a simple grid, a simple grid with crystals could be as simple as a spiral shape. I made this and the video is still on the channel, and it was fast forwarded. But really, we're looking at some green aventurine here. Okay, so with the green aventurine, I'm going to begin a spiral, and I will basically focus on a little point of citrine in the middle. And my thought process is this shall attract abundance to me, and at the same time the spiral shape is suggesting infinity. Okay, so I want to be abundant to the infinite level. I don't want to worry about money. I don't want to what's the word? Yeah, worry about money. Money is no object. That is a mindset. So the shape of a spiral, guys, and you can do it this way or that way. You can obviously expand on it, right? But it's as simple as a spiral shape. There is sacred geometry. There is beautiful energy in the shape of a spiral. Okay. I'm trying to do it a little bit better, and really we can expand on that, okay? But just a simple spiral with a citrine point. Now, you want to get a little bit fancy? Sure. Put 4 citrine points at each corner. And that's something I like to do too, the power of the number 4. Alrighty? 4 at each corner, depending on the space you may have available to you. This could be one way to do a grid also, and really amplify the attraction of abundance, the attraction of money, of prosperity. using those four corners. If you want to get a bit more detailed, you can do something I do too sometimes. So I'll show you this. This sheet, guys, is a zodiac, obviously a zodiac wheel. Let me bring the spiral just a tad down here. So the shape of the zodiac wheel, you know your zodiac sign. A lot of you do, of course. And this is what I would do. So I'm Scorpio, okay? Scorpio sun. I would put 1 here by Scorpio. And my thought process around this is help Scorpio, help me attract abundance. Okay, help me manifest abundance, I should say. Help me attract prosperity, and so on and so forth. And then I would go to the four corners. And if you're wondering what this is taken from Judy Hall's Astrology Bible. It was just a nice zodiac wheel with good distinction between, you know, what's fixed, what's cardinal, what's mutable signs, and so on. So I liked it. But basically, the thought form is, right now I'm thinking Scorpio, four corners again, and then I can accent and I can add other stones. If you consider this shape, you can also use to do grids where you are sending energy to others. So if I'm Scorpio, but you know what, the family member or the person I want to send energy to is in Leo, for example, so I may put a crystal or a stone that may represent them here. What do I want in this thing? Okay, attract abundance, maybe 4 attracting stones at the tips, at the four corners. So different ways that you guys can work with citrine, that you guys can work with, you know, on grids. This is not a video about grids, but this was just to share with you what my natural citrine collection looks like in 2024. I know the lights are super bright. I haven't used those in a long time. But I wanted to start by just showing you guys something we can do, showing you the beauty of natural citrine that is not heat-treated amethyst. At the same time, begin putting some of the crystal knowledge and, you know what, crystal and minerals related videos on the channel. We're going to do a little bit about moldavite as well, so that may be coming next. And then you guys can also anticipate and expect a shop tour of the Lucky Gem. Now, if any of you guys in the States, in North America, or in Europe want to buy from us, we will do it, guys. We'll give you a virtual tour. We can do this on FaceTime, or we can do it on Zoom. I have a computer, I can move it, I can walk you through the entire shop. To me, it works better that way than having items on a website only, because you still want your energy in your picking. So like I say, I will do this. Just be serious when we book an appointment. If you have questions, if you have requests, and you want to reach out, obviously you can comment, but I invite you to visit our website, theluckygemshop.com, and you can reach out there. Okay? I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought, and as always, you guys should know, we do love you. Yes, I'm coming. We do love you madly. And bye for now, guys.